Hello everybody and welcome to the Watkins Glen International Raceway for the NASCAR Cup Series Go Bowling at the Glen in the second race of the Cup Series playoffs. In this opening round of 16 is an all Hendrick Motorsports front row with Kyle Larson leading us to the green flag alongside his teammate of William Byron as we are green and underway here at the Glen as the field goes thundering down into the front straightaway into the heavy braking zone of turn one for the first time. Here at the Glen is Byron now prevailing over Larson into turn one with a good shove from McDowell. Byron's clears to go 3 and 4 wide behind them throughout the pack. Everyone trying to make it through turn one, and around goes Kyle Busch. The 8 gets turned, Busch goes around, he gets Chastain as Chastain turns around Kyle Busch, and he gets hit, notably, by playoff contender Brad Keselowski in the 6, who now has significant damage to the hood of that race car in the number 6 Kings Hawaiian Ford. Could put Keselowski in a very bad spot here if he's trying to advance, of course, to the round of 12. That is not going to help his case. He's got heavy damage. He's way off the pace for Keselowski. That could be day over. As Byron continuing to lead as we get to the conclusion of this opening lap of racing. McDowell in second, and then Larson dropped down to third after starting from pole position, as it will be William Byron leading the opening lap of racing after Kyle Busch goes around and heavy damage to Keselowski in his opening lap of racing. As it is now Byron driving away over Michael McDowell as we come out of the final corner here to round out lap number 2. Still Byron leading the way here. McDowell pushing it wide. The caution's out on the racetrack though. You can see the caution lights flashing there at the entry to pit road. So cautions come out. You can figure out why Keselowski's destroyed. That's maybe the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. Indeed, Truex got turned by Chase Elliott head on to the guardrail, and the 19 of Truex goes around another playoff contender with an issue, and that's what brings out their caution. So just like that, Truex, who had a great run at Atlanta, a top 5 finish, surviving the carnage, getting good stage points, is going to use all that cushion right back up today with a crash early at Watkins Glen. Will drop into the back of the field. So far, the only car out of the race is Brad Keselowski in the 6, and that's really going to hurt Brad and his playoff hopes of making through. He should still be above the cut line, though. He was one of the few guys who survived and had a really strong top 5 finish at Atlanta last week. But here we go. Michael McDowell clear for the race lead. They're 4 wide into 1, and around goes Blaney on the restart into Byron. Blaney gets turned from the bottom by Larson. 4 wide just was not gonna work there, and Blaney gets completely turned around in front of the pack. Very minimal damage though. Everyone doing a great job of avoiding any further incident. LaJoy got into Chastain back there as well. A little bit of contact. I see Daniel Suarez cutting the grass here, trying to merge back on the racetrack. So Blaney loses a ton of spots on the racetrack from that incident there. Meanwhile, back at the front of the field, it is the 34 of Michael McDowell leading, trying to get his second win of the season and lock himself in the next round of the playoffs. Behind him, Reddick is second, and Bowman, who entered this race 9 points below the cut line in 16th, is in third. Right now in a great spot to get stage points and put himself in a good spot to advance to that round of 12 with some points. As McDowell still leading here on lap 6. Reddick still trying to chase him down as they go through the bus stop here. Behind us, there's some smoke though, all the way back on the entry to the bus stop. Exit of the S's there. Indeed, Zane Smith and Chase Briscoe going around. So just 2 wide, squeezing the wall. Zane Smith, Briscoe both go around. Luckily, both cars able to stay right up against the outside guardrail, and then just when their bumpers are coming back down, everyone, Montoya, Hocevar included, are able to avoid running into them there. So disastrous start for Chase Briscoe. He's had no luck the last couple of races ever since Darlington. And then Zane Smith involved as well, as it'll be Michael McDowell leading over Tyler Reddick at the caution flag. Same 2 on the front row. McDowell on the inside, Reddick on the outside, and we're back underway here at Watkins Glen on lap number 9 now. McDowell trying to hold that race lead, but a great restart from Tyler Reddick, who's now clear for that first position, and Reddick now leading, driving away into turn 1. He gets clear behind him there once again, 3 wide, multiple rows deep here at Watkins Glen to turn 1. Just everyone being as aggressive as possible, trying to get as many spots as they can to turn 1. Somehow everyone able to manage to funnel through there. Look at the 9 Chase Elliott hitting the apron there, losing multiple positions. Elliott all the way at the back of this field, struggling early in this race for a guy that you expect to be extremely strong on these road course races. But it's Tyler Reddick now leading, trying to drive away from Ty Gibbs, so caution came out again. because the 15 in Casgrala had a suspension failure, so mechanical issue on him takes Casgrala and that Rick Ware Ford out of this race. So now Ty Gibbs with an opportunity. Reddick all the way down to the barrier right there as we go into turn 1. As Ty Gibbs alongside his teammate Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin sends it in turn 1 for his teammate and he gets turned. There goes Hamlin and Gibbs. The leaders go spinning into turn 1. Larson gave Gibbs a shot after Hamlin tried to clear himself. Hamlin went around, Gibbs went with him, and a disastrous turn of events for the 11 of Denny Hamlin. There goes all of that track position he's about to gain. He's now all the way at the back of the line behind Eric Jones, who's under the guardrail, having a tough start to the day here. Jones, of course, in the playoffs as well from that win he got earlier this year at Talladega. We got Blaney in the guardrail. It's a little bit of damage there to the 12, who hasn't had a great start to this race either. Luckily for him, though, he's in the next round of the playoffs. He won last week at Atlanta, so he does not have to worry. So he is A-OK. Back here, you got the 16, of course, Shane Van Gisbergen, SVG, one of the best in the business at road racing, working on bubble walls. Meanwhile, it's a Hendrick 1-2-3 right now. Larson leading as Byron and Bowman duke it out for second. As Larson now driving away with the race lead here, getting close to the end of stage 1. And here we are, last lap of stage 1 at Watkins Glen. Kyle Larson in the lead, trying to lap John Hunter Nemechek. And the 42 sends it in, contact made. Going to that corner, Larson almost spins, so he'd be a little too aggressive trying to lap Nemechek. Allows Byron to gain like a whole second, but still not going to be enough. As out of the final corner, down the front straightaway, Kyle Larson is going to win stage 1 here at the Glen. William Byron comes home in second. Michael McDowell, a very strong third. Bowman, a much-needed fourth, and getting 7 points for him. Chris Buescher runs the top 5. SVG 6th. Reddick 7th. How about Chastain getting 3 points in 8th? Then Austin Cindric comes through to finish at 9th. And the last stage point will go to the 20 of Christopher Bell. So Larson, your stage 1 winner here in dominating fashion here, Watkins Glen. His teammates Byron and Bowman right there with him. Back underway in stage 2 now. On 30, we are back underway here at the Glen. William Byron with a blinding restart. Gets already a car length and a half clear of Larson into turn 1. And it will be William Byron leading now for the second time today as we go into turn 1 here on lap 3. There once again, 3 wide, multiple rows deep behind them. This time, everyone able to negotiate turn 1 cleanly and avoid any incidents. But you see here, there's only like, what, 20, 21 cars in this lead group of cars on the restart. That's because there's a huge gap back to the rest of the field because there's some sort of issue with cars pitting, not pitting. So weird, specifically that Denny Hamlin still not got the start-finish line yet. He and Blaney are all the way at the back here, just now starting this lap. They're at the back with Truex. Others got a long way forwards. Gregson back there as well. So a big separation in the field. The weird little glitch right there. But at the front, it is William Byron driving away from his teammate of Alex Bowman in the lead here at Watkins Glen. Byron trying to get a stage win here now on lap 42. Cautions out on the racetrack, but Byron's trying to lap the 2 of Austin Cindric. So we'll get to the yellow in a minute, but Byron is trying to put Austin Cindric 1 lap down here at Watkins as they go side by side into the corner. Cindric sends it in, is able to hold off William Byron right there. And the caution was a 1. Ross Chastain's car is absolutely destroyed. We weren't quite able to catch what happened. We just missed it, but Chastain's car is completely wrecked, destroyed. Chastain is going to be out of this race, and that is huge for implications. But AJ Allmendinger, huge front end damage to that car, smoke pouring out the rear end of that vehicle, and AJ Allmendinger is also destroyed. So Allmendinger and Chastain wrecked each other out of this race. And for Chastain, a 3-time winner this season, was at one point considered the favorite for the championship, on the ropes here in the first round of the playoffs, as he will be out in 36, joining Gralla and Keselowski in the garage. As we're now back underway in lap 45, we got Ty Gibbs, a few other cars making some pit stops in the background. It is Bowman and Byron leads to the green flag now. Bowman in the race lead, clear over his teammate Larson into turn 1. Everyone able to get through turn 1 clean and orderly, and it will be Bowman now leading the way here, Watkins Glen. As if you remember, he came into this race dead last on the playoff grid, 16 of 16, 9 points below the cut line after finishing dead last at Atlanta a week ago, and now here he is leading at Watkins Glen, in position to get a stage win, which would do wonders for his point situations. Bowman leads the way here at Watkins Glen late in stage 2. Now here we are on to the last lap of stage number 2. It is Bowman leading, but his teammates Byron and Larson have been hounding him for the last 5 laps. Byron in second, Larson in third, both trying to find a way by Bowman here. Of course, all these 100 guys trying to get that 1 extra playoff point, which is, of course, the most important thing you get when winning a stage here in the playoffs. You get a playoff point to use in that next round, which will be huge. for any of these drivers. Of course, Larson already going to be the #1 seed. He's a regular season champion. He's looking great on points. So is Byron. Bowman is not. Bowman needs this point more than anyone else does. So you got lap car of Todd Gilliland up ahead of them, which has been a little bit problematic for Bowman lately as he goes through the bus stop. For the final time in the stage, Bowman leads, but Byron is closing in the 24. Gaining on Bowman, and Bowman goes a little bit wide through the carousel, and Byron goes to the inside. Here comes Byron. They're side by side for the lead in the stage win. Byron trying to steal the playoff point from his teammate of Bowman, who needs it a lot more than he does, but Byron makes the pass on the outside lane, and Byron to the lead going into the final corner. And William Byron, with a brilliant pass on Alex Bowman, is going to win stage 2 here at Watkins Glen. Bowman in second, Larson third, Hendrick 1, 2, 3, Hamlin in fourth, SVG another top 5, Michael McDowell in sixth. Here comes Kyle Busch after being completely spun around on turn 1, lap 1, recovers to 7th in stage 2. And how about Justin Haley and then Rick Ware Racing Ford in 8th. Then Buescher 9th, and Cindric rounds out the top 10. So William Byron, your stage 2 winner here at Watkins Glen, with a last lap pass on his teammate Alex Bowman. As now we get back underway on lap 60. It'll be Byron and Hamlin both coming down pit lane the first 3, 4, 5 rows. Oh, Bowman slams into Buescher. Buescher spun around on the entry to the pit lane as a lot of miscommunication between guys pitting before we go green and guys staying out. Big damage to the 48 of Bowman, and he loses a ton of track position all the way to the back of the line, racing Harrison Burton and Christopher Bell all the way. Disastrous turn events for the 48. He can't afford that, being where he is on the cut line, dropping all the way to the back of the pack as Buescher got spun into the pit road entry. Just a lot of miscommunication there, the wild turn strategy. And by the way, Kyle Larson's back leading this race over Austin Cindric and Michael McDowell. So now it is Larson driving away with the race lead, trying to win his way into the round of 12, even though he's got a really good point situation. So caution came out to get some mechanical failure on Chase Briscoe's car, putting an end to his day. So Larson and Blaney this back to the green flag here on lap 74. It's going to be just 17 laps remaining here at Watkins Glen. Larson is leading the way. Blaney in second, McDowell in third. They're 3 wide in turn 1. How about the 10 of Noah Gragson on the inside? And his first ever playoff appearance has been doing a whale of a job today. Finds himself now inside the top 10 in a great spot to get a solid finish and get some solid points here to put himself in a position where he might be able to sneak his way through the next round of the playoffs. But it's Larson leading, but how about the 12 of Ryan Blaney? Had a rough start to this race, getting involved in an incident, and is now all the way back up to second in contention for the win before another yellow came out. So we're back underway here on lap 79. Same 2 in the front row. Blaney and Larson now just 12 to go at Watkins Glen. And now Blaney clear for the lead on the restart. And look who's behind him. That's the 71 of Zane Smith. Looking for his first ever win. Is into second, 3 wide once again through turn 1. Larson and McDowell will scrap it out for third. Byron losing spots back here. Bowman still a ways back trying to get through traffic. Same thing for Elliott. Hamlin got a lot of track positions. Byron. Oh, trouble. There's Josh Berry into the guardrail and on his side and up and over goes Josh Berry upside down. He gets turned by SVG, and Austin Dillon launches Berry up and over off the guardrail, and they get hit right there by Daniel Hemrick and Todd Gilliland, destroying the front of the 38 and 31 cars. And heavy damage to Josh Berry. That Euro sponsor car just does not want to say that. Stenhouse also going really slow on the racetrack. Got Montoya going by him. As back at the front of the field, there's a wild turn of events. There's 3 cautions in this quick rapid-fire span here. Is Ryan Blaney leading, but how about Zane Smith in second, who's in position to have a shot at his first ever Cup win here at Watkins Glen. Larson's back there in third, who had this race in the bag. Now with all the rasher cautions, has lost that position, has got to get back after it. Now it'll be Blaney and Zane Smith on the front rows. It'll be green and back underway with now just 9 laps remaining here at Watkins Glen. Can Blaney hold on? No, Zane Smith with a great restart in the 71. Zane Smith to the lead here at Watkins Glen with 9 to go. They're 3 wide behind him. Larson slides into McDowell. They manage to save it, but that kills Larson's momentum, and now he's put back 4 wide with Gragson, Cindric, and Suarez. The caution has already come out. I guess it was that minor slide by Kyle Larson, so we already have a yellow out here at Watkins Glen, so we know we're going to have another restart. It's like our 4th or 5th caution in a row here, but it's Zane Smith trying to hold off Ryan Blaney as he races back to the line. How about this 71 for Spire Motorsports? Zane Smith trying to pull off the upset win. He's leading over 3 playoff drivers of Blaney, Bell, and McDowell. You got Byron going through the grass trying to make passes. He gets bumped by Haley, and Byron's slow. The 24 has an issue on the inside lane. He's slow, losing tons of time. Byron, the big issue, almost collects a 17 in the 48 right there, but Byron is a bit of an issue. He'll have to get fixed on pit road at this caution. Loses a ton of positions on the racetrack. Meanwhile, Zane Smith almost into that tire barrier. He's sending it so aggressively on next to the corner. Wow, he threw it in there. But Zane Smith the lead over Christopher Bell, who takes second away. So Truex, by the way, is now out of the race in 32nd. Now we have a restart with just 6 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. It is C-Bell alongside Zane Smith. We're back underway here at the Glen with 6 to go. Who is going to find their way to victory lane and possibly at this next round? Christopher Bell, a huge gap back to McDowell. Bell driving away. Big stack up here on the inside through turn 1 there with Zane Smith. Lost all he was leading, and now he's all the way back to like 10th, and there goes his hopes of winning have likely gone down the drain. Unfortunate for Zane Smith. He was having a great run going at Denny Hamlin, now putting pressure on him, trying to make the pass. Meanwhile, back to front is Christopher Bell, who has snuck his way all the way up to the lead after having a quiet day today, is now in position to win this race. McDowell in second, though, hard charging. Here comes the 34. Larson still in the picture in third. Blaney lurking in fourth. Oh, around goes Stenhouse. Stenhouse spins here through the bus stop. You see Stenhouse just got loose off the curb. He wipes out. It looks like in front of him somebody else went off the track as well. That's a 24 of William Byron, who got bumped, and Byron went way off, slamming the back bumper into the tire barrier. One of the best cars all day long. Byron is damaged, and then he just drives himself inexplicably into the tire barrier here. Same thing Allmendinger did in the Xfinity race yesterday. So that will likely end Byron's day of being really in contention for the win, as it'll be C-Bell leading at the caution and for yet another restart. This time it will be just 3 laps remaining. If we have another yellow before the white, we're going to overtime. So we'll see. Bell and McDowell back underway here at Watkins Glen. Who is going to win this race? It is McDowell with the advantage now. McDowell clear for the lead into turn 1. They're 3 wide for second behind him. McDowell trying to drive away, and he does. Blaney and Bell side by side for a second. Larson and Elliott trying to stay in the picture. How about Noah Gragson in the top 5? Trying to get a tremendous points day. That would be huge for his playoff hopes. Larson, Elliott going way wide. Off they go into the grass, trying to merge back on the track. Larson spins off Eric Jones in front of the field, and a huge pile up into the S's. There's everybody. The SVG upside down. Larson on his lid. ARCA brakes galore, and 12, 14 cars pile up in the middle of the S's as the Hendrick teammates of Elliott and Larson get together. Larson tries to save it, but hits Eric Jones, spinning himself and the 43 out. Jones bounces off the wall upside down into Noah Gragson, collects Chase Elliott. C-Bell slams into Larson. Haley's in it. Van Gisbergen, Kyle Busch, Cindric, Wallace, Logano, Burton involved. Austin Dillon piles in. Hocevar gets a piece of it. Ty Gibbs and LaJoy get damaged. Just a huge, huge crash. Vicious hit for the dominant car of the day, and Larson. SVG, who has helpful big damage. Larson gets launched on his lid. A hard hit there from Logano, another playoff driver involved. Bell, who almost had this race won, is destroyed. Kyle Busch is on his lid. Zane Smith has damage. Chase Elliott has more damage as well, and that means we will have NASCAR overtime here at the Watkins International Raceway. It is Michael McDowell restarting on the outside, Ryan Blaney on the inside, and we are back underway at Watkins Glen in overtime. Who is going to get the win, or will we have a caution and have another overtime attempt? But it is McDowell clear for leading to turn 1, but look who's in second. That's Alex Bowman in the 48, who has survived the carnage, and Bowman now in a great spot to win his way into the round of 12 in second. Suarez in the third. See back here all the other wrecked cars. We just have them temporarily back in for now just so we can keep the roster equal. You got Blaney and Hamlin losing tons of positions through the S's. They went off the track, and their shot them is likely over Hamlin, and gets into Blaney and turns him into the wall. There goes Blaney and Hamlin wrecking. Zane Smith wedged in the guardrail. Caution is out. We will have another overtime. Blaney and Hamlin, 2 of the top contenders in the playoffs to win this race, crash into the guardrail. right off the bat and are now destroyed, and their hopes of winning are dashed, and that means McDowell, who is driving away with the lead, will have to hold off Bowman and Suarez on another overtime restart here at Watkins Glen. We will have double overtime and a wild late race turn of events from what was a pretty calm race all the way up until about 20 to go, and then it's just gotten wild. And here comes McDowell, went too low, so here comes Bowman trying to take the lead away as they race back to line on the inside. You want to be the leader on the restart, side by side next to the corner, but it'll be McDowell who will hold off Bowman, and McDowell will lead the line. And now here we are for double overtime here at Watkins Glen. McDowell on the inside now, Bowman on the outside, Suarez and Elliott waiting in the leads. We're green, and we are back underway. We're doing it once again here in overtime. Can we make it to the white this time? It is Bowman in the race lead. His teammate Chase Elliott behind him in second. McDowell had a terrible restart, and Bowman's clear for the lead at Watkins Glen with a spot in the round of 12 on the line. He's driving away with the lead. His teammate Elliott trying to pressure him from second. Now here comes Chase Elliott to the outside. Elliott now trying to take the lead and the win away. Remember, these two were the first two drivers to wreck out last week in Atlanta, finished 37th and 38th, and are now fighting for the win here at Watkins Glen in overtimes. They go into the bus stop, coming to 2 to go, coming to the white flag this time by Bowman, gets a great run on the inside, and Bowman is clear for the race lead. Elliott secures second. Busher and Suarez will do battle for third. Bowman now with a huge gap through the carousel, driving away from the 9 of Chase Elliott, trying to bring home a huge win to go from 9 points below the cut line to advance to the next round of the playoffs. They're still fighting for third behind him, but it is Bowman and Elliott. Looks like it might be a Hendrick Motorsports 1-2. Busher into third, McDowell into fourth, Suarez down to fifth now as they come around the final corner, and the white flag is in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank here at Watkins Glen for Alex Bowman with the race lead. Chase Elliott chasing him down in second, trying to take the lead away. Can't quite do it for now. Bowman almost had the stage 2 win. Remember, it was taken from him on the last lap of the stage by William Byron, his own teammate, and now he has another teammate he has to hold off on the last lap of the race. That is Chase Elliott, formerly known as the Road Course King, was so prolific on the road courses in the Gen 6 car, not as much here in the next gen, as they have a lap car. Daniel Hemrick a little bit down the road, but I don't think they're going to catch him. Bowman going through the bus stop one final time. Elliott trying, pushing as hard as he can, going in the grass, trying to catch him, but he's just running out of time as they go through the carousel for the final time. Bowman goes a little high, but gets a great exit to the corner right there. Elliott one last shot here. 2 more corners for him to try to make a move, but Bowman has been near perfect these final 2 laps. He's going to cover Elliott off into the final 2 corners. Elliott going to stay content behind his teammate to see through a Hendrick 1-2 through the final corner here at Watkins Glen. It is going to be from 16th to 1st. Alex Bowman wins at Watkins Glen. He will advance to the next round of the playoffs after being the last seed after a disastrous Atlanta. He comes out and he wins here at Atlanta. Elliott second in a Hendrick 1-2. As they got trouble back here, Ricky Stenhouse has spun around coming to the line. Busher, McDowell, and Suarez, the rest of the top 5. So you see there, out of the final corner, Juan Pablo Montoya turns around Stenhouse. Of course, Montoya in his lone start of the season for 2311 Racing in that number 50 car. So spins out Stenhouse right as they come across the line, but in the end is Alex Bowman winning here at Watkins Glen, locking himself in the round of 12 in clutch fashion here at the Glen. Chase Elliott almost had it, but comes home second and gets a solid points day, recovering from what was initially looking like going to be a rough day for him. As here are your final race results now. Bowman the winner, Elliott in second, McDowell a great points day, points in both stages, coming home fourth. You got Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones recovering 6th and 7th after being subpar most of the day. And of course you got Blaney and Hamlin, who got in that wreck in the first overtime, end up 9th and 10th. Then you got Ty Gibbs in 14th, a few laps down. Seabell, of course, involved in that huge wreck, DNF'd in 17th. Same thing for Gregson in 21st, Logano in 25th, and then Larson and Byron, who luckily had all those stage points to help them, but they end up 26th and 27th. Then Truex, Chastain, and Keselowski outside the top 30, all wrecked out in the initial 2 stages of this race. Let's now look at the updated playoff grid. Just one race remains in the round of 16. That's next week, the cutoff race at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Bristol Night Race. Bowman and Blaney, of course, in with wins. Larson, Hamlin, Byron looking really good. Basically should clinch in stage 1. Bubba Wallace, Truex, Michael McDowell, solid up between 18 points above the cut line, but Keselowski on down, it's tight. Brad only good by 11. Elliott above the cut line by 9. Jones really good by 8. And Gibbs above Gregson by 1 point. Your defending champion, Christopher Bell, out by 5. Chastain and Logano also out on their outside looking in, trying to find a way into the next round. We'll see who can do it next week. As before we end the episode, as always, I'm going to give a shout out to my channel members. So thank you, Jeremy Isley. I appreciate your support for being a channel member. If any of you want to become a member as well, you can hit the join button or click the link down in the description down below. And you'll get access to exclusive perks. So until the next episode, I hope you all have a good one.